Good morning to Takeaway Tuesday. I am Tina Kavergich, and that's okay if you can't remember my name. I am Northern Stamper. If you need to reach me, please drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. I am so glad that you're able to join me today. We are going to be working with the Color Coach wheel, which last week we did a really great looking card. I hope you enjoyed last week's card. Comment below if you gave it a try. Uh, this week, what we're going to be doing is another card, and we're going to be using one of the suggestions. There's different ones like triadic, which is the three across, monochromatic, there's complementary, which is straight across. And a lot of it is discussed on the back of the Color Coach. It's really easy to follow along. If you'd like to find out more about it, drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. It's only a $17 wheel, and you can see I made some modifications. I added in the in colors so that I can kind of work with them a little bit more. But before I get started, let's put that there. Before I get started, Stampin' Up! Just announced there's going to be a sale starting tomorrow on two-tone cardstock. Whoops, can you see it? Whoop, there we go. Let's see. It's out of focus. Hold on. Woohoo! There we go. Two-tone cardstock. Um, the two-tone has dark on one side and slightly, oh my goodness, we're out of focus. Let's try something a little, woohoo, let's try this. There we go. There we go. It's two-tone, so it's slightly darker on one side than the other. And inside, when you rip it, it has a white core. So that is the two-tone cardstock going on sale tomorrow for 2 days, and that's 20% off, just in case you need to stock up on 12 by 12 pieces of paper. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working with the color wheel, and I decided to go with monochromatic, and that means when I flip it over, monochromatic, it says choose one color that you love and pair it with the shades or tints kind of right beside it, and this way it will always match. And all you do, see there's one little spot here that says monochromatic, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of turn that wheel to your favorite color. And let's turn it to actually Night of Navy. And I'm going to be working with a Night of Navy today. So that is monochromatic. Now, if I wanted to, I could pick up the color beside it, which is Blueberry Bushel. There we go. There's one beside it. Or a Highland Heather, which is on the other side. Now, I would add those on just as a little bit of highlights. But my main color, what I'm going to be focusing on, is the Night of Navy, so wanted just to do that there. So let's get started with some of the items that we're going to be working with. So we have our colors that we're going to be working with already, the inks. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to be working with the Gallery Blooms. I just love this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love this one, and we're going to actually start with, we're going to be working with this flower here, and I love that. This is a really great stamp set. I love it a lot. I've been working a lot with it, and I kind of want to show you something that I've already created, and it's using kind of like monochromatic. So I had done recently a sampler and I used this Gallery Blooms for it. And what I did is these are little samplers 3x3. And you can see it's all monochromatic. It's all the one color. And I've just used that in a little bit. It turned out really nice. And I made about 9 different images on that. And it's more like a piece of art. So let's get started today. So there we go. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a lot of stamping today. And what I have is, there's my Night of Navy. This is my this is my card base. I have that here. I also have an extra piece so I can cut out. And with the Gallery Blooms, with the Gallery Blooms, there are some dies that come with it. And one of them, this is really cool. And this cuts out kind of like little frames. So what you're going to do is we're going to take that and die cut that out on that. So that is what it's going to do. But before we do that, what I want you to do before you cut that out is you're going to emboss it first. And I'm just going to grab any embossing folder and I'm going to pop it in before I cut it, and I'm going to emboss that. So I'm going to use this kind of swirly one, and I'm going to cut that out. Once it's embossed, I'm going to place this on top and I will die cut that out. I have two pieces of basic white. There's one that fits right on top. You can see with a nice frame all the way around. This is going to be like super simple card that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to also emboss this one too. And this time I'm going to use the Damask Designs embossing folder that comes with the Gallery Blooms. You can see it has a really nice, subtle kind of image to it. And we're going to emboss this piece of basic white. Excuse me. I also have a piece of scrap paper so that I can stamp my image on. And I'm going to stamp this flower. I just love this flower here. It's really fantastic. And we're going to be stamping that. And all of this work is going to be done in the Night of Navy color. And we're going to be doing that. So let's get started and kind of start with our work that we are going to be doing. Let's get started actually with embossing. So remember I said about the piece of navy. We're going to take that piece of navy and we're going to emboss it with the, I'm going to use this So Swirly embossing folder. I'm going to pop that in there. And then once you have that embossed, you are going to cut it out. So what it's going to look like when it comes out, so you have it embossed and then die cut. So, and then it will come out with 3 pieces. So this one piece will cut out 3 pieces. So there's one in the center. You can barely see. Oh, I guess it's kind of a dark cardstock. You can't quite see, but 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 pieces and it is slightly embossed. So we have those already done. Okay. I wanted to do those first. Okay, got those off to the side. The piece of basic white that goes on the front, remember I mentioned that. We're going to place that in the Damask Design embossing folder, and we're going to emboss that. And that is going to come out with a really nice design on that paper. Now, can we see that? Again, another very subtle, oh, there we go, a very subtle design on this paper. Okay. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some coloring on this before we go any further. And like I said, I'm going to be using Night of Navy. Now, I'm going to bring in either a sponge or a dauber. You can use that for either one. But what we want to do is slightly, just very gently, color over some of these images. Now, I'm not going to be pressing in where it goes in between. I want to really go very lightly over. So let's see if this works. So I get some on here, very light. And I'm not going to do a very heavy hand. I'm just going to do very light swipes across. And I don't want to add very much ink. So I'm not pressing hard at all. I just want to get kind of those tips that are kind of standing out on that embossed piece. So you can see it there, just very, very light. So it's using the Night of Navy, and I used any sponge, or you can use a dauber for that. So I wanted just to add a little bit of coloring on the background. Now, if you want, remember we talked about monochromatic. So there's the Night of Navy. I could go with something Highland Heather to the left, to the right or the left. I can add in another color just slightly if I want. And if you want, let me know if you want the Highland Heather, which is like a purple, or the Blueberry Bushel, which is another shade of blue on this. We're going to be using it for some of the stamping, but do you want it on the background? I'm not sure. Comment below or just leave it as Night of Navy. So we have that on the background. What I want to do is I'm going to take that scrap of paper and I'm going to stamp the gallery image, this one flower, and I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Now I've placed it on my block. Okay, ooh, need some more room here. There we go. And I'm going to ink it up. Okay. Oh, that's a juicy pad. Oh, my goodness, look at that. Okay, so we have that Night of Navy. I better close this up because otherwise I'm going to get it all over me. Okay, and we're just going to stamp on that scrap piece of paper. Okay, oh my goodness, look at that color. That is an absolute gorgeous blue. Oh my goodness, that turned out so nice. And with the dies for the gallery blooms, there is a matching die that goes on this, right on top. And we're going to die cut that out. Okay, so you're going to have that and just die cut it out. Off to the side, and it's going to come out and look just like this. So there we go. There's a nice and die cut. So before we go any further, remember the other colors that we had. Blueberry Bushel and Highland Heather. I want to add some of the colors in, even though it's monochromatic, which means all one color. I want to add, I can add a little tone of something else. And let me know, should we color with Highland Heather or Blueberry Bushel, or should we just color a little bit more with Night of Navy? Comment below what you think you would like to see. So monochromatic, kind of going all in, working with the colors that are very, very close to the original color. So let me know what you think and what we will do. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and we're going to take a little bit of ink from one of these and we're going to paint in our flower a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at what it's going to be. Let's actually take a little bit of Highland Heather, and it is only going to be a small amount. So I'm going to take my brush tip, very small amount, and actually I'm going to ink up a block, and I got a small amount on the block. We're going to take a small amount. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I don't want it very heavy at all. So I'm going to take a look and paint on this scrap paper. And I want just a small amount. So I'm going to take some and I'm going to carefully dab where I think some of that shading should be. Now I'm going to be careful and try and not to touch too much into that Night of Navy because I don't want it really to kind of smudge at all. I'm going to take a little bit. And now when you're coloring like this, you don't want a whole bunch. You just want a little bit to kind of accent the flower a little. So just kind of go a little bit around. There we go. Very, very light on it. Okay. And you can see I'm just going very lightly all the way around. Let's see. Can you see? Very barely, you can barely, it is very barely seen on that. So just adding a little bit of color to make those flowers pop a little bit. Our main focus is staying with the Night of Navy or whatever color that you choose. Okay, so just very little. So it's so little, I don't even know, you can barely see it. I did color it. You could barely see the color on the video, but it is there. Okay, so we have those, and what I want to do is I'm going to start assembling, and I am going to place my sentiment on. So let's bring in our card base. This is a really simple card that we're going to put together. I'm not wrapping any ribbon around, so I can glue this straight down. Going to add a little bit of glue here. And just pop that on top. So I want to bring in these pieces that I had here. Now this one is really big. I could use it, but it's really big. See how it spans all the way across, which, you know what, it looks kind of cool. Can also do this, but I think I'm going to take that large one away. I think I want to use this smaller one as a design. You can still see there's my area there. I'm going to pop that on here. I'm thinking like this. You can kind of see some design on that navy. And I'm going to pop that on top. And of course, you know what? If you follow me and you know recently what I love the most, what I have to add, comment below if you know what I'm going to say, what I need to add to this card. Let me know, comment. I'm going to be actually placing these on dimensionals. I want the height of these items to really pop out. Okay, so first I really like this design. What I'm going to do is place this frame and have some dimensionals on the back there. We're going to add our favorite item to this card. Well, I don't know if it's your favorite item. It is definitely my favorite item for 2025. You know me, I have now ordered a whole ton of it. I'm just going to place this on here. Okay, I'm going to also add some dimensionals to the top and the bottom. Oh, Sharon, you got it. Sharon knows me so well. Going to be adding my gold ribbon. My favorite item from 2025. And what I'm going to do is I could place the gold ribbon behind that blue, but I think it's going to get lost. So I think I'll place it behind the flower. I'm going to pop that on there. Add our ribbon behind the flower. And I think I'm going to have it go this way this time. I just folded it over. I just love this ribbon. Oh my goodness. There we go. I also wanted to mention that Stampin' Up, their snips, their scissors, I forgot to mention, just announced their snips. They have the company that makes the snips for Stampin' Up has decided not to create these anymore. So Stampin' Up will be selling what they have left in stock. Now they have a shipment coming in, I think in a couple of weeks of more snips, but once those have sold out, they will be gone for good. So you can go to the website and have a notification when it is back in stock. It is currently sold out, but it is on back order. So when the shipment of snips comes in, you can get a notification and you can order them. But Stampin' Up will be looking at sourcing a new company to make their scissors. I don't know about you. I love these scissors. They're fantastic. I think they're really great quality. So I just wanted to let you know about that first. So we're going to place this on here. Now, there we go. And I think this is a little bit long, so let's just kind of cut that off a little bit. What we're going to do is I'm just going to stay with a simple black and white sentiment, and I'm going to pop it kind of right in there off a little bit, kind of overhanging on the frame a bit. Again, we're using dimensionals to add that height. Now, monochromatic can turn out really absolutely gorgeous, depending on what color you use, right? Everybody's got a favorite color. I could do this in green. I could do this in purple. I can do this in red. And my goodness, it will always turn out fantastic. That looks absolutely fantastic with, I know you can't tell, but a little hint of Highland Heather in there. Let's see if I got any leftover embellishments that I can use. So I'm going to take a look to see if I got embellishments. Oh, I got those ones. I don't think I have any navy, but again, monochromatic, going very close into that color combination. Yeah, I think I'll just use those ones. And before we go, I want to show you another card, kind of similar to this design. Let's just pop this in here. A couple of embellishments, similar in color. Again, for monochromatic. There we go. Oh, that one's stuck on me. There we go. Oh, there we go. That one wants to. There we go. Looking great. So I wanted to show you a monochromatic type of card. I also, the same design, again with the frame around. Here's another type of monochromatic. I went through my designer series paper and I found some of the images that are the same, and I just kind of did the same thing. There is that frame right here, the same kind of design, and I tried to stay within the colors of the blue. So there you go, looking fantastic. You know, this would look great in any color that you do. If you have any questions, you can always reach me at northernstamper@gmail.com. I hope you'll give this design and a color, a monochromatic color combination a try today. Let me know what you think, and I hope you have a lovely crafting day.